Welcome back to Through the Net Podcast. We're here with Jude Scott again. I'm John. This is Jonah. We had Jude on for our NBA Fringe All-Star Draft about a month ago. That one's also on the YouTube. You want to go check that one out. Today, we're going to be talking about NBA Season Awards. Our playoffs are starting next week. And so we are going to talk about who we think is going to be ready to win. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about probably the most heated debate out of all of them, the most valuable player. I think doesn't matter. We're going to get our locked in together. We both have the same personal bigger. So you and I both had Luka Doncic winning this one, and Democrat has Jokic winning it. So since you're the black sheep here, want to talk us through your pick? Jokic is so nothing, man. He's just ridiculous. He's coming off of a year where he probably got robbed. I'm going to say that. I think he should have won. I think if he wins last year, I'm going to give it to Luka. With this, came to bring in, stuff like this. But, it's a messed up because it's stupid to kept him from winning last year with Kendrick Perkins, which is another one with Kendrick Perkins to have a whole MVP trophy trained on a guy's athlete. So I think that's a big selling. The numbers are still insane. They just finished outside of the first team in the West. They're the total favorites, who I think most people remember the celebrates. He might be the best offensive player in the league right now, and I think he's one of the best offensive players of all time. I think Luka is also in the discussion. Yeah, I think we're going to talk about offensive final power. Giannis is averaging 30-plus points per game on 60% field goal percentage, which is the first time in NBA history.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic is averaging almost 34 points a game.
And 34 points triple-double.
Yeah, I think that is an important point to make. And I think the big thing is the seeding, right? Because it's Jokic is the number 1 seed, Luka is the number 5 seed. Jokic won the MVP 2 years ago as the 4 or 5 seed, right? And so you want to take a look at what the team is able to accomplish, because the last couple of years, Jokic just had a really injury-riddled team. He hasn't had Jamal Murray. Michael Porter was in and out. Eric Gordon hasn't been this good. Their team is not deep. A lot of the other guys on their team were older. But this year, they have a really solid team. Jamal Murray played most of their games. Michael Porter Jr. stepped up. Aaron Gordon is at his prime. Christian Braun looked really good. They had a really deep bench. And still, Jokic had a way better supporting cast than I'd argue most of the other actual MVP candidates. And Luka Doncic did not have much help. You got Kyrie Irving, who's been having an incredible season. There are guys who step up, but especially in the clutch, we're not seeing guys step up. Luka is single-handedly willing their team to a win, and I think that is what pushes him over to the edge for me as the number 1 MVP candidate. Jude, you got friends?
Yeah. So, yeah. Wait, do you want me to talk about Luka Doncic?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. So yeah. Yeah. He's been amazing. He has the most 20 point, 25 point, 35 point, 40 point, 45 point performances, and the only way he does take is 30-point performances, and that obviously is by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But me personally, I think he's a little bit overrated. He's been so good this year, but MVP is still, I feel like there's just something that isn't quite there. He just doesn't have a 3-point shot, and I feel like I don't know. But that's not the only reason why he can't win the MVP is because he doesn't have a 3-point shot. But I don't know. I feel like he just has to do a little bit more. And with the way that Jokic has been playing, Luka has been playing, it's a different level compared to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in my opinion. So Luka has to take it, and then it's Jokic, and then it's Shai. I'm going.
All right. So my take on this thing is pretty similar. I just think his game is very translatable to the playoff, or at least I don't think it will be. It definitely could. And then I'm be okay, next year I will come start seeing a lot more, and I'll have him almost certainly then be but you're willing to he gets a lot of heavily. He comes to the series very well, and that's really tough in the playoffs. And for me, it's you're just a regular season guy. I know it's a regular season award, but I don't feel I'm good getting an MVP trophy, but I don't know you're going to do that. Yeah. Shea is also a free throw merchant. It's averaged almost over 10 free throw attempts per game. It's just like, it's not, I think you use the word ethical because that's just like such an NBA Twitter garbage. But I think aura, bag, and like whatever it is I just said is just like these terms that just kind of get thrown around. And some of it's used. It's used when it's used right. But I think Shea, it's not MVP level. Like they have a really good team, and every time he has a 30 or 40 piece, he's also having 15 free throws. We're gonna add it. The same. I can rant forever about Jason Tatum, but I don't should be hammered out here.
Yeah, I don't like Jason Tatum. I don't like Jason Tatum either. So I mean, I think he's a little overrated.
I think for me, I have Luka, Jokic, Giannis, Brunson, and Shea. I think is what I had. Most of the people that are actually voting on the voting panels for MVP have Shea and Tatum as top 3, which is absurd to me. I don't think in a top 3. It's great we have to pass Tatum top 3. But yeah, so that's MVP. Let's move to the rookie of the year. This one's kind of flat. Or we can just go back to Nick Victor. It's Victor Wemby. He had an incredible season. They went at the floor. And I'm excited next season. Just found a new logo revealable. Yeah, the new logo. Did you? I don't know.
Bro, it is fire. It actually, I like it. There's some people that don't like it, but I like it.
It's good. It's gonna be really cool. So we're gonna move up to sixth man of the year again. I think this is just a blowover. Nas Reed. Nas Reed. Like the GOAT. Absolute GOAT. He's held that team together. Huge. And the fans love him. And he's just been incredible all season. Few injuries, and he's just been a huge part of the way that the Timberwolves have been running this season. So that's just by the team too. And defensive player of the year. So we differ again. So I think Jude and I both had Wemby winning it.
Yes.
And he had Gobert. So your narrative. I love Victor Wembanyama. And our draft, if you remember that. Go watch the video. Dude, I do think he's probably the best defender in the league, but just because of how this award has been given out, it doesn't really fit Wembanyama's case. His case is like he's an incredible defender, and they're so good with him on the court defensively, and they're awful when he's off. Kind of similar to Steph MVP case when he carried them into the play-in, I think. But this award has always been given out as like, who was an absolutely incredible defender, was leading one of the best defenses in the league, and also had his team as like an upper playoff. And I think Gobert has always has been in an incredible position with Timberwolves. And I think I picked them to be my seed last year, so I was a bit late on that too. But yeah, I think this is just based off how the award is given out usually. I think this could be Gobert, but I'm not. I would agree at all if someone said Wembanyama. Yeah. I would say, I just never with that. It kind of comes down to like what people interpret it as, because it's either the level of individual like talent, but also like it has to translate to team play. And I think I do that with much player of the year MVP. And first. Defensive player of the year is more of an individual award, just because I don't think one person really has. My philosophy is that one person doesn't have that big of an impact on team defense. Yes, they're going to positively or negatively impact, but I'm letting one person keep carrying it when a person can carry an offensive load in the same way. I don't think the value is the same way. Well, that's the floor. That's why I have Wemby winning it. I don't know what Jude's rationale is, but for me, I think Wemby is way more pushable. He can guard 1 through 5 pretty well. Like, you can't get past him if you're a guard, and he's going to bully you in the paint if you're a center. Gobert is obviously a phenomenal defender. I have a lot of respect for Gobert. Like, he defends the front court. That's it. He's going to hold up a paint. He's a really good rim protector, but he's not switchable. So that's why I have Wemby winning. Plus minus, obviously, both are very similar stuff. Kind of direction out. I had a interesting line. So I just kind of excuse me, I think Gobert's improved a lot in his switchability. It's still not great. But when early at Utah, when he was competing for BQ1, like we've seen the clip of him guarding. He used to be awful when he got switched up. When I was in, even a lot in that area, and I think a lot of people have like his defense in the playoffs. When I think a lot of what happened there was the drive space were awful in terms of perimeter defense. But Joe Ingles is getting playoff defensively, and then they have Gobert covered that, like I think last year with your public small put them in like game 6 or 7. I think that was the main problem with Utah. Yeah, I think that's just something people overlook about Gobert, and I think he gets a lot of a bad rep for that one. I don't think it was as much of his fault as people say. Okay, so good most improved here. And this one, Jude and I talked a little bit, and Jude, I'll let you take the reins here.
And I was like, let's here?
Most improved.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. So yeah.
Now, this time, I have Tyrese Maxey winning it. And they have Kobe White. So, I don't know. And I'll let them talk. I'll say my thing, and then I'll let them talk. So, I have Tyrese Maxey winning simply because it's not necessarily, I think, the increase in points and the increase in assists and the increase in field goal percentage and increase in usage and increase in field goal attempts have all gone up substantially. Kobe White being the only thing I'm going to say is that Tyrese Maxey is a superstar now. Like, I view him as a superstar. The type of shots he's making is like top guard in the league. Like, he went from like a bottom player on a deep-ish team to not number one option when Embiid was out. So I think the jump from not only statistics-wise, but also as with his role on the team has been bigger than almost anyone else. And so that's why I give the award to Tyrese Maxey, but they had Kobe White. So, Jude, do you want to take over? Get Kobe White winning.
Yes. All right, so here is my take. All right, the reason why I have Kobe White winning is because here's the thing. So when people always say like Tyrese Maxey, right? I look at like Tyrese Maxey's stats before Harden got traded. That whole thing happened, right? Before Harden got traded, Harden was putting up like what he was as a 76er, putting up like however many points, and then he was getting his 10 assists or whatever, right? And then Tyrese Maxey was constantly getting like the 20, like 30, 20, 30, like he averaged 20 or 30, like the before, right? And so, but no one really like realized that. And he was like shooting good, like he was a good player, but I don't think people realized it because they were all focused on Harden's drama and Harden on the 76ers. And no one talked about Maxey, but he was still doing just as he was doing even better than Harden, right? Yeah. After all that drama was done, there was no more they couldn't pay any more attention to Harden, right? Once he was gone, then they saw Tyrese Maxey, drop like I think 50 after he got traded. So it's like he really wanted to make a name for himself. So he's like, this is my chance, right? He goes out, and then after that, he was doing his own thing. He was averaging like the 20 and the 30 that he always got before. So I think people were just focused on Harden before he got traded, and I think Tyrese Maxey is just as good as he was before Harden got traded. Maybe just a little bit better because of the 250 bonds, but he's just letting people know that he's good. Yeah, but I have Kobe White because before he was like way down in the bench. No one knew about him. Literally, he would get you 2 or 3s a game, and then he'd go back and sit on the bench. He'd get 7 minutes in the whole game. Then they played him one time. They came in, and he just dominated. And then, now he's constantly getting more minutes. He's constantly getting, tons of the 3-pointers. He's getting more points, rebounds, assists, more playing time. He's just improved amazingly in all aspects. So that's my take.
Yeah, my pretty similar. I think Maxey, his numbers improved a ton, but I feel like it wasn't as much in improving as more just their role increase. He did get better in some instances, but that's what we talked about. I get that, and I think that role is like an increase in role is also, in my opinion, most improved because he was in consumer league based off of like whatever coaching Doc Rivers. That he wasn't good enough. And you can argue whatever you want about Doc Rivers, and he's like, we have a feeling about Doc Rivers, the coach. Um, but like obviously they were like, well, we need Harden as a better option. And so when he was gone, it was like no one else was back. It was like I could step up, I could do all these things like you mentioned. And maybe it's visiting like ESPN fraud of me, but I think also, and like Mr. Truman, means that like your team is going to benefit from the fact that you recruit. The Eagles have been sitting in mediocrity for 20 plus years, and Kobe White's incredible improvement hasn't changed that ability. Like I love watching Kobe White play basketball, and hasn't changed anything. Tony naturally kept the Sixers afloat, even when the team got into other team. Yes, they dropped from the 1 to the 18, but they continue to stay competitive. I mean, Covers has been one of the impact the last 2 seasons because of the fact that Embiid has way more help than he normally would have without Maxey stepping up. So I guess you could say part of it is like a coaching thing, and was like giving him the chance and like not he's getting more minutes, to the fact that he's able to do things even though he already was able to do it. And with the candidates are really good, so I don't think I have a problem in a good way. Bring it both pretty good. And so we're going to get into player award. So let's player. Which one is hard? But really for me, I find it hard because NBA.com is the only place where you got stats, right? And it corrects you get that well, right? And it's really hard to sort through like stats. That's been more like an eye test. Not like because it's different every game, and it's hard to really quantify that with the numbers. And so we more have like different people. You had Kyrie, you had nobody. You're like I don't know. So I was thinking about this today. There's some people that I think could be up to there. I think DeMar DeRozan has been really great in the clutch, but I feel like the way that this award should be given out, as it's a new award, I think that there's its second year. Yeah, in existence. So there's no precedent. I feel like it could be like recognizing players who historically have been extremely clutch and are also having a good season. So I think I landed with Jude also as Kyrie. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, Kyrie on.
You can take the rings here.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So Kyrie, he could enter the fourth quarter with 9 points, like 2 of 8 shooting and a couple of free throws. He will walk out of the game and he will have 30 at the end of the game, shooting 65% in the end and having like 5 free throws. He is so good. In the clutch in the fourth quarter, it's like he's just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna actually try now. And then he'll just like, he can't miss. He really just like cannot miss in the fourth quarter. So,
yeah, and he's Kyrie's a good spot. I would say we just against with a couple of games, on the top when I'm looking, like building percentage in the clutch in the rubber. And when the team wins, he's also been really effective. But what you were saying about Kyrie is so true. And that's been true of the game, actually. It has been true. It's been like, it's such a down year. I feel like it's a down year. And I'm not saying that I think games should get ready. Well, the thing that what's interesting for me is that, like, the Eagles want to learn with Portland, like, we come in with, like 8, 9 points, good on some, like, all of them will be, like, free throw points. And then somehow they're getting like 21 points and with like 50% of the field. And I think that those like the traits of like someone who actually got a step in the clutch. I don't think this is the game's award this year. He used to have an off year. And they've kind of had trouble staying afloat, especially in the clutch. Doc Rivers has choked so many times in the clutch with big lead. Kobe White has also been really, really good in the clutch. But again, it hasn't translated to team performance. And so I mean, I would be fine with Kyrie winning it, but what's weird is that the ladder, the NBA.com clutch ladder has like the most random people. Like they have DeMar DeRozan, they have Steph Curry.
Yeah, they have Steph Curry. It's right. Deserve it is Steph Curry. Steph Curry should not win it.
Yeah, how about Klay Thompson?
What?
How about Clay Thompson after last night?
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, he needs to win it all. No, he's winning the MVP award.
Yeah, how about Clay? Yeah. So it's kind of a weird award, and that's as far as we're going to go in that one. It's kind of a funky award, but I think whoever wins it might end up deserving it just because of the way they are. They're kind of really good people that frequently on the clutch, and then being actually, I'd be fine with Kyrie winning it, but I feel like it might end up being DeMar or something like that.
Yeah, so too.
So now this one, like, we'll probably get kind of a two-man race here. So Mark Daniels is another. Is the Thunder head coach, and I think Jonah and I both have.
I haven't.
I don't know if this was for this one. But anyway, yeah, Jude and I both had Mark Daniels. And yeah, watched too much Thunder basketball. Like I do love everything that he built, like with the team, and this goes for Santa Presti as well. So, like when they completely tore down the team, they traded Chris Five and they traded like everyone, and they just kind of built this record kind of draft picks, and they just kind of went through it, and they just rushed it, and they one of the worst games, kind of youngest number one pick. And I think you can't get them without a good leadership from front office and the kind of good coach. And so that's why Mark Danoff, I haven't watched too much Thunder basketball. They do a lot of free throw merchant and a free throw selling and option, but I think that they become a team. And that's why I think even NBA executive of the year, I would have Santa Presti running. Yeah. But I go back and forth between and Chris Finch. I think right now I'm leaning Chris Finch just because I think how I look at Coach of the Year, it's who was able to do the most with less. Like one of the main examples I think of in past years is Nate McMillan and with Victor Oladipo and the Pacers. I think that was the year he won it. Or it might have been because Nate McMillan's been on multiple teams. Yeah. I don't remember, but yeah. Sort of like that. And I feel like, well, you look back at like preseason predictions, the Thunder aren't very high. I feel like that's more on people underestimating how good the Thunder were. Like their roster is very good. They got J-Dub, they have Shea, they have Chet, they have Giddy. No, not very good. Nope. And then I feel like the Timberwolves, they had like some guys, but then people were like, they rated them off because it was such a clunky fit. They didn't do anything last year. And then Chris Finch was able to take this team that I feel like most coaches would struggle with, similar to like Frank Vogel struggled with the Lakers with Westbrook, because floor spacing bad, the defense was clunky with two centers in there, and he made it fit enough to get, the one seed. Yeah. The somewhat improvement. I mean, that's like I was like, there's no way this is gonna work. And that was my joining something with expecting people to make up the end of this year. And just because of the way that Carl had made happen, Rudy Gobert, it's like one paper, it's still arcade. And last week, Michigan decided, like, it's going to be good. There's no fix it. There's probably not like any of the rotations you last year. The defense is famous. It was having their team run, but then they pulled it together. This really like sometimes coaches just need a year or two. And with that, I can't show unless it's Chauncey or Darden. But just finish. Like comes in at a mess in the first year, comes in second year, and Luke totally fixed everything. And obviously there's a learning curve, and throughout the season, well, there was a way better structure during that happened. And so Chris Finch definitely expanded it, and I would be perfectly fine with people. Yeah. And then executive year, this is like the general manager of the front office person. Only rookie Brad Stevens for the Boston Celtics winning because they got Kristaps Porzingis. They built, they call it a super team. They built the Celtics. They built a super team. They don't win a championship. I don't know what to tell you. They did into fraud, but he had built them a super team. And he kept the Celtics competitive after Danny Ainge left. And they have just built really incredible team, and they built a really incredible thing in Boston. Now, really work as like they do. But I would have Stan Presti up there as well because building to the draft, doing the draft is going to be not an easy way, and especially for a smaller market team like the Thunder. Takes long to build to the draft. Do this like another player, which is what bigger market teams do, but they've done like best of their job.
So are you saying, sorry, what?
Did you have like anyone we deal with draft?
Yeah.
Or?
I have Sam Presti. He's in GM for the Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just double checking. But yes, I have him. He has multiple first round draft picks. He has a stacked team right now of the first seed. Even if they don't make it far next year, they have a bunch of draft picks, which is all from the GM. So I think it just has to go to him. So
much way most of the picks that we from like today you're talking about the available analytics and not as smart as that. So they're gonna end up voting for shit and other not worthy people. But I mean this one has a similar that's where I'm set up. I don't know what our next video episode is gonna be, but I heard all of our other stuff and podcast content is on wilsonvillebroadcastnetwork.com. You can go check that out. Under Local Money News, they got other videos on episodes on YouTube channel. And we're at Little Star Drive. We're have another one coming out soon, I think. You guys just got airplane contact. There's the print. I know that we did. Definitely lots of more content going into the summer. So make sure.
Oh.
Thanks for watching.